We often think life is a singular journey, a straight path from birth to death. But what if life is something far greater? What if it is a library, an infinite collection of lives and stories connected in ways we may never fully understand? In this vast space between birth and death, every person is a unique volume, holding a special story that you can never live but can always learn from. Between birth and death, there is a library, and within that library, shelves stretch on forever. Every book is a person, waiting to be opened and understood. It was back. It was back in seventh grade when I truly understood this. I remember asking my English teacher for a copy of The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I quickly assumed it was a simple story about books going missing, someone stealing books, or something related to books. But as I started reading, I realized how wrong I was. The novel was narrated by death itself. This new perspective not only changed the way I looked at the story, but also it changed the way I looked at people. It taught me a very powerful lesson that first impressions can be misleading. Just like how books should not be judged based on their cover, even people should not be. As children, many of us grow up believing that successful people live perfect lives. When I was young, I dreamt of being successful and assumed that people who achieve greatness did not face any struggles in life at all. But with time, I realized how wrong I was. Take someone we all admire, Walt Disney, the man behind all our magical movies. Did he become that Walt Disney in one day? No. Before his world known success, he faced bankruptcy, struggles, and multiple rejections. His story teaches us a very important lesson that what we see outside may not always be the full picture, just like a beautifully designed book with painful chapters inside. I learned this lesson personally through friendship. I had a classmate who was like an unread book on the highest shelf. He sat at the back of the classroom, kept to himself, and never engaged in classroom conversations. I judged the book based on its cover. I assumed he was unfriendly. When my teacher put me with him for a classroom project, that's when I decided to open the book. The pages were filled with self doubt, pressure, and the fear of being misunderstood. That conversation changed the way I looked at people. I realized that friendship doesn't begin with similarity, it begins with curiosity. In this library of our life, every person is not just a book. They're also an author, even if they don't realize it. Some write chapters of courage, standing tall in the face of adversity. Some write chapters of healing, quietly recovering from the wounds the world cannot see. And some still keep rewriting the same page, unsure of where the story is heading. But still, no chapter is meaningless, no book is useless. When we choose to explore someone instead of judging them, we become richer as human beings. Unfortunately, in today's world, we rush through this library. We judge people quickly, we label them easily, and move on without ever taking time to read what's happening inside. We forget that behind every smile there could be a struggle. Behind every silence there could be a storm. Friendship and empathy require patience, the willingness to pause, to listen, and to understand. When we choose to truly read someone, we become richer as human beings. The solution begins with something simple but powerful. Pause before judging someone by their accent, their marks, their appearances, or even their silence. Pause and remember that you're only seeing the cover, not the content. Choose curiosity over conclusions. Listen more than you speak. Ask questions. When we give people space to tell their story, we create a world where understanding replaces misunderstanding and kindness replaces judgment. Reading a book always takes time, just like understanding a person, but the wisdom gained is always worth it. Between life and death, there is a library, and within that library, shelves stretch on forever. Every book is a person, waiting to be opened and understood. And let us be curious leaders. Let us open books instead of judging covers. And remember that even though we only live one life, by understanding others, we may gain the wisdom of many. Thank you.